Here are 3 so painfully easy, healthy snacks that are going to absolutely change the game for you. If you're new here, hey, I'm Healthy Emmy. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. If you're at all interested in learning about the Slim on Starch program and how you can work with me, and maybe even a mindset coach and a nutrition coach, depending on your needs, click the link in the down bar. I have 3 snacks in front of me. Which should we start out with? The first snack that I'm gonna be showing you from the Healthy Snacks cookbook is this gorgeous cauliflower popper snack. You can call them cauliflower poppers, you can call them cauliflower popcorn. I decided to make this with purple cauliflower, but you can use any type of cauliflower you want. I think that the purple is fun. If you can find orange, that's the one that I would suggest, just because it's gonna have that smoky sort of roasted look to it. Oh my gosh, this cauliflower is delicious. It's perfect for adults, it's perfect for kids, especially if you get one with color. But we're gonna cook it in a special way, because usually what happens is when we take fresh cauliflower and we throw it into the oven, it can dry out and it can be sort of crunchy and it's not really fully cooked, and you're kind of eating raw cauliflower that's burnt on the outside, and it's not the most pleasant experience. So we're gonna use something called steam roasting. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it, but we're gonna put water on the baking sheet so that when we roast it in the oven, we allow it to get nice and crispy on the outside, but it's still getting cooked on the inside with the help of the water. And also something really, really cool happens, and I can sort of show you here. We're going to apply spices in a very specific way. I'm actually not gonna toss the cauliflower in the spices and then put it on the baking sheet. I'm gonna put everything on the baking sheet with the water on the baking sheet and then put the spices on, because I'll show you here something really awesome happens. As you can see, it forms this sort of paste with this really cool texture to it. And sometimes you get a piece that has a lot of seasoning on it and you're like, yes, I got a good piece. So I cannot recommend this little snack enough. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be obsessed. If you have kids and you're trying to get them to eat healthy, this can be a fun way to bring in something boring like cauliflower and make it more fun. You can call it fairy cauliflower. So we've got our cauliflower. Again, any type of cauliflower will do. I will recommend that you get the fresh cauliflower for this recipe. And I'm gonna break off the florets. You don't wanna cut it. When you cut the cauliflower, it's gonna get really crumbly and it's gonna break apart. The way that I like to do it is I like to pull off the floret and then just very gently break apart the florets. And then once I get to a big stemmed floret, like this one, I'll just very delicately peel it. You want to have sort of smaller pieces. You don't want to have these big hunks. You want to have these smaller pieces. We're going to take a baking sheet, and on this baking sheet, we're going to put a half a cup of water. This is going to accomplish something that we call steam roasting. So it's going to prevent the cauliflower from getting super dry. I'm gonna put the florets on here, and then I'm gonna sprinkle on top. And you can do this for the entire head of cauliflower. I'm gonna do it for about half the head of cauliflower because I'm gonna end up eating this. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon of nutritional yeast, and I'm gonna sprinkle it on top. The reason being, I do want some of the spices to get into the water because I'm gonna be moving the cauliflower around when it's in the oven. About 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika. The smoked paprika really makes a difference versus a sweet paprika or just normal paprika. And then about half a teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of onion powder. We're gonna put her in the oven. Make sure the oven has already been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll put it in the oven. Now this is the magic of this recipe. Because you added all of that water at the bottom and you put the spices on top of it, it's formed this paste. So you can mix around the cauliflower in this paste that's formed in the oven, and this is what makes it so delicious. The coating is just so good. It turns into this almost breading. You know how when you dip something that's been breaded and it locks up the moisture and it's just these flavorful bites? That is what's happening with these spices. So after about 15 minutes, I went in and did this and moved it all around, and then I put it in the oven for another 10 minutes and checked it again. You'll want to do the same, and you might need to put it in a little bit longer, maybe for 30 minutes in total, but mine baked for about 25 minutes in total. By the way, if you're liking this recipe, all 3 of these recipes are featured in my Healthy Snacks cookbook. My Healthy Snacks cookbook is perfect for the person watching this video because you're gonna have tons of recipes to choose from that are so simple, so easy, and will change the game for you. All written out with the directions laid out, easy to follow. Get your copy in the down bar. For the next treat, let's go with the crunchy sweet apple chips. Make sure that you've washed the apple. And here's a little pro tip. Don't take the sticker off until after you've washed it. If you take the sticker off and then wash it, you're just gonna spread the glue all around. So we're gonna go ahead and take this sticker off. Now I'm gonna slice the apple widthwise, I guess it would be. And I'm gonna slice it as thinly as possible. If you have a mandolin, that would be ideal. As thin as I can, and the seeds will fall out because you don't want to eat the apple seeds. Okay, make sure that we take all the seeds out. Bye, little guys. All right, so now I'm gonna line a tray with parchment paper and line the slices on here. And then I'm gonna sprinkle them with a little bit of cinnamon. You can sprinkle with nutmeg, you can sprinkle with some coconut sugar even. I love cinnamon though. All right, and then I'm gonna flip them over, sprinkle them again. I love cinnamon, so I like to use a lot. If you don't love cinnamon, just use a very small amount. All right, and these are gonna go into the oven at 200 degrees, and I'm gonna check them after 2 hours. Okay, I have to ask, since we're talking about apples, what is your favorite type of apple? My favorite is the Envy or the Pink Lady. It was Pink Lady my whole life, and then Envy's popped out of nowhere. And once you go Envy, you don't go back. So leave a comment and let me know what your favorite type of apple is. I know a lot of people live for the Honey Crisp, but I'm an Envy gal. They're so sweet. I saw a billboard for Envy apples recently and I was like, yes, that is what we need. Here are the apple chips after they have been cooked. Depending on how thinly you slice them, you'll notice a different level of crispiness, but when you slice them nice and thin, they sort of curl up on the edges here, which is fun. How long you keep them in the oven for is going to be dependent upon the pan that you use, how thinly you slice them, whether you use parchment paper or you use Silpat. But I used parchment paper. I did not have a mandolin. I manually sliced these and I put them in the oven for about 2 hours and 20 minutes, I would say, at 200. But you gotta check on them and they will crisp up a little bit more once they've cooled down. If you're serving this to somebody that is brand new to this lifestyle and their taste buds haven't adjusted yet, feel free to add some coconut sugar to this to help sweeten it up even more. I personally don't think it needs it, but for somebody who's new to this lifestyle, they might want that. By the way, you know what goes really well with apple chips? Vitamin B12. Please make sure that if you're on a plant-based diet, you are supplementing with vitamin B12. Don't be irresponsible. It is of the utmost importance that you supplement with this because you're not going to get it if you're just eating a plant-based diet, and it's crucial for proper neurological functioning. So the supplement that I made, the only one that I trust, is linked below. The next snack is this gorgeous carrot cucumber salad. This is perfect for summer. It is so light and refreshing. And it's great too because you're taking something boring like a carrot and a cucumber, but then when you cut it into these ribbons, it totally changes the game. You don't need a ton of ingredients for this one. It's nice and light. It's great for adults. It's also fun for kids too because they'll like the ribbons that are involved. It looks fun, it's colorful, it's gourmet, it's hydrating. If you add some fresh herbs into this, you can really take it to the next level, but you are gonna love this one. We're gonna take our cucumber and our carrot and make sure that they're nice and washed, nice and clean. And then I'm gonna take this tool that I got on Amazon. This is a peeler ribbon cutter. It also makes spirals and strips, which is really fun. I'll link it below. And the first thing I'm gonna do is just peel off the skin of these. If you save these scraps, you can make veggie broth later on, or you can compost them. All right, so these have been all peeled, beauteous. So to make a dressing for this, we're gonna take the juice of a half of a lemon, a half a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a half a tablespoon of maple syrup or agave nectar, a half a teaspoon of dried oregano, a half of a teaspoon of dried basil, salt and pepper to taste. Of course, the salt is optional. And then if you really want to take this to the next level, something like parsley or cilantro, some fresh herbs to garnish it would be gorgeous. In recent videos, I've been giving shout outs to my Slim on Starch clients, and I've gotten messages from them saying that it made their day. I even had one client tell me that she cried when she saw that she got a shout out. So let's do a shout out. So I'm gonna shout out my client, Mary, because I find this post to be so inspirational and vulnerable and relatable, and I'm so proud of her, so I wanna share it. She said, I've seen the comments about falling off the wagon, and I've been there too many times I care to count. I did SOS last August and released weight that I kept off for months, and then after the holidays and traveling, I gained it all back. I've been having such a hard time getting back, but I'm doing it. As somebody in this group said, I will never give up. That gives me goosebumps to read. After having a not so stellar annual physical, I'm jumping back in. I wanted to share something that perhaps flicked a switch in my brain for me. It comes in stage 3.2 regarding food prep. She's referring to in the Slim on Starch program, you go through different stages. She just went through stage 3.2 in the program. Specifically, it is in the module about food prep being your secret weapon. One of Emmy's clients said, no food prep equals no weight loss. Simple, but it helped. So here are some pictures of my food prep for the week. And then she put in these gorgeous photos of her food prep. I found that post to be so inspirational and raw and real, and what this journey actually looks like for most people, which is a non-linear journey. The healing journey is not linear, and that's okay. What matters most is that you get up and you keep going. The person that's going to be successful on this lifestyle is not the person that can do a program for 4 weeks. It's the person that recognizes that we're human, we have limits, we have challenges, life is messy, life happens, and it's going to be normal for us to fall off track. But what matters most is the fact that we are determined to get back on and never give up. The person that succeeds in business, in their health, in sports, in relationships is the person that doesn't give up. They persevere, they have grit. Grit is that characteristic that sets you apart from everybody else. Have grit, have determination, and be committed. And you're not committed to your goal, you're committed to your system. This is something James Clear talks about, that we have to be committed to the system and let the positive consequence happen. And that's what Mary is doing by doing her food prep. So inspirational. And with that, if you made it to this point of the video, what do I want you to comment? I want you to comment the word grit. You have grit if you made it to this point of the video. Don't forget to get your copy of the Healthy Snacks Cookbook. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video.